Hey guys, welcome back. So today I have another deck for you guys, and it's a discard list. So recently in the new balance change, or the new season, we got a balance change to Blade. So Blade was pretty lackluster in the discard meta, but now he's still a 1/3, but has the ability of on reveal discard the rightmost card from your hand. So if you guys know me, I really hate some random generation discard. So all the cards like Swordmaster, Moon Knight, cards like so were very bad, or I don't enjoy them at all. And previously Blade was exactly that. So I never played Blade in any of my lists. But now that we can discard the rightmost card, it makes Blade pretty freaking ridiculous. He's really good in a lot of different lists. He's good in Cerebro now, in Cerebro 3, because you could like Blade into Swarm. He's good in Hela because you can discard exactly the card you want to discard. And he's good in this list. So this is a classic discard list you guys must be very familiar with. But we'll go over it because it's pretty good since we have now Blade in the mix. So I'll get into it. But before I do so, please, if you guys love the content, please leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Yeah, most of you guys watching are not even subscribed. We're almost to 1K. So yeah, subscribe. It's free. Click down below. And let's get into it. So Blade, the first card. Previously, we didn't have any single one cost. So this is why this deck got so much better. It's because Blade is now a one cost. So we now have a card we can play on turn one, which is really good. And especially having a discard card for one is very good because there's a lot of turns where we have one extra energy and we can't really play anything else. Because let's say on turn 5 we don't have our Modok, right? Are we going to play just our Dracula by ourselves? That's not really good. Are we going to do like Collector Calling Wing or something like so? But we have 5 energy, right? So that 5th energy is going to go to Blade. And sometimes if we like Morbius, Colleen Wing, and then Blade, we're going to discard the Swarm. So the Swarm is going to go to the right of our hand, and then Blade is going to discard the recently discard Swarm, right? So Swarm works so well in this list. Yeah. Next up, we have more. Oh yeah, guys, by the way, if you guys want to skip to the gameplay, if you guys are really familiar with the rest of this deck, look for timestamp down below, jump to the gameplay. But I'll try to go a little bit more quicker. I'm trying to shorten a little bit the deck explanation. So Morbius really good. He gets really strong in this list, especially when we play Modok on 5, where we basically discard our whole hand. And since we have even more discard with Blade, Morbius gets even bigger. So Morbius is huge, very important. Collector also gets huge because we discard more Swarms, we discard Apocalypse, which makes our Collector going to like a 2/6, 2/7 pretty often. Next up, Wolverine. Wolverine is very good because it's a second target to our Colleen Wing. So our Colleen Wing wants to discard our Swarm, but you guys must know that like for when you build the deck, you don't want only one single way of triggering an effect. What I mean by that is like, let's say you're playing Sentry, which is my favorite card. It's Sentry spawns a Void. Well, you need, yes, you can Viper, but you can't only have Viper. You need to have like a Viper. You can have Valkyrie. You can have Carnage. You need multiple ways of dealing with what I call the side quest, right? So here, the side quest of Calling Wing is discarding the card you want to discard, right? So you can discard Wolverine, you can discard Swarms. Sometimes you can discard Apocalypse when you're like dumping your whole hand, but that's pretty rare. But yeah, so Wolverine's there for the second discard of Calling Wing. So this is a perfect segue into Swarm. Swarm, you want to discard it with Calling Wing, but now you can discard it with Blade, which is huge, which is extremely huge, right? Because if you Blade the Swarm and you have Colleen Wing and some other 2 costs, well, Colleen Wing is going to discard the discarded Swarm. So that's really good. So Colleen Wing obviously wants to discard Wolverine Swarm, like I just mentioned. Storm. We have Storm in this list because Storm into, I don't know, Collector or Morbius basically secures us a single lane. And then on turn 6, we have the Dracula that's going to discard the Apocalypse combo, right? So if we can secure a lane with the Storm, well, then we could do a lot of stuff, right? There's also the possibility now of doing Storm Blade on 4, which is very huge. Storm Blade into MODOK, let's say, on 5, and then we are good to go for turn 6. So Lady Sith, we want to play Lady Sith to discard our Apocalypse and only our Apocalypse. We don't really play Lady Sith to if we don't have our Apocalypse. We're usually just going to wait for MODOK to discard her if we don't have our Apocalypse in hand. Next up, we have Dracula. So Dracula is ridiculous. Lady Deathstrike is the biggest counter to Dracula, but Lady Deathstrike still sucks. So without Lady Deathstrike, there's no counter to Dracula, right? So you play Dracula, can't get Shang-Chi, can't get Enchantress, can't get, I don't know, what are the other things? Can't get Cosmo, can't get Rogue, can't get... So all of these can't really affect Dracula, which makes him a prime card in this list. Plus, with MODOK, when you pair with MODOK, you Dracula on 4, MODOK on 5. It's going to allow us to have only a few cards in hand at the end of the game. It's going to be Apocalypse and a bunch of 0-cost Swarms and a Chavez. So we're going to play our Chavez, play our Swarms, and then it's going to discard our Apocalypse. So Dracula is going to become just so freaking huge. Often 16 or 20 power. It's crazy. Most of the time, your opponent just surrenders a lane. Just quickly, before I keep going, obviously there's that play line that I just mentioned, right? So the whole play line would be like Blade, discard like a Swarm or Wolverine or something. Then on 2, we Morbius. On 3, we Lady Sith. On 4, we Dracula. On 5, we MODOK. And then on 6, we play Chavez. And the Dracula is going to discard the Apocalypse, right? But please, please, please note, guys, okay, this is huge. Some games, you're going to play your Apocalypse and let Dracula discard your Chavez. Or even, you're going to keep your Swarms in hand and play your Apocalypse so that the Dracula can discard a Swarm and it's going to buff your Morbius or Collector, okay? But that's more of a niche case. But just please note, you always have the possibility of playing your Apocalypse, which is going to be very huge, right? So most of the times when you play Dracula, your opponent is just going to surrender the lane. So if he surrenders the lane, even if Dracula adds 4 power because it discards the card, Apocalypse adds 4 power because Dracula is discarding the card Apocalypse, you're still better off playing your Apocalypse, and then you're only going to have 9 power on your Dracula. Okay, so most of the time, you're still going to be able to secure a win by discarding the Chavez. So please keep in mind of that mix-up. This is very huge. So MODOK, turn 5. You play him on turn 5 all the time. Buff is Morbius. Buff is Collector, because it's going to discard some Swarms. Buff is... so Dracula is going to make sure we have only good targets for Dracula. So Morbius, Collector, Wolverine, Wolverine, Swarm, Dracula, Apocalypse, right? So just play MODOK on 5 almost every single time. If I have Dracula on 4 MODOK and Apocalypse, you can snap. Just that enough. Most of the time it's going to be enough to snap, because you're going to have your Dracula that's going to win a lane, and you have your MODOK Chavez to win another lane, right? And obviously there should be some other stuff sprinkled around, but yeah. So MODOK, fantastic. Apocalypse. So I don't think I have to mention much more. Discard your Apocalypse with Lady Sith, and then Dracula, and then you can also play it on turn 6. And we have Chavez. So Chavez thins out our deck, but also makes it so we have the combo of since we discard our whole hand with MODOK on 5, then on 6 we only have Apocalypse, Chavez, and some Swarms maybe. This is very, very good, because we're going to make sure we only have Apocalypse in hand at the end of the game. So yeah, this is a deck. Fantastic list. Most of you guys maybe have seen, or at least, well, played or maybe seen this list. Is very, very good. But now that Blades got buffed, it's even better. And in the low-key meta, the low-key cards that our opponents are going to copy are not really good by themselves, right? So if our opponent, let's say, copies Morbius, right? He copies Morbius, but then it doesn't have MODOK, right? So if he plays the Morbius, well, then the Morbius is not going to get huge, because he's not going to discard a lot of cards, and vice versa, right? If he gets MODOK, but then he doesn't get any other cards that works with MODOK, well, then he's just going to discard his whole hand for no reason. So yeah, I'll jump into some ladder gameplay here, and yeah, let's get into it. So, I haven't played much. I haven't reached Infinite yet because it was my first week of my semester. If you guys must know, I'm doing a master's in artificial intelligence. So I haven't had the time to play. So, yeah, but this deck is the one that's been working recently and probably the one that's going to bring me to Infinite. And yeah, let's push now to that Infinite rank. So we have Grand Central here on 1. We are going to enter. We have our Storm, our Morbius, our Wolverine. If we can, we're going to play our Morbius, and now hopefully we can get Apocalypse, MODOK, and Dracula, right? So I'm going to play my Morbius here. I'm going to play Morbius. I think I'm going to play it right. Okay, can we get Apocalypse here? MODOK. So MODOK's pretty good. We are going to play our Collector now. We're going to play it left because in Strange Academy, because of Strange Academy, that is going to make us... That's weird. That is super weird. I think we snap. If we get Apocalypse, we snap. So yeah, Strange Academy is going to move our cards, so that's why I'm playing left, so I can choose where I want to put my Collector. I guess we are going to Storm. And then on 5, we MODOK. Okay. I'm actually even going to snap here, even if I don't have my whole combo. MODOK middle should be enough to win the middle lane, hopefully. But we get Colleen Wing, so maybe we should Colleen Wing and like Wolverine, and then we are going to get our Swarm discarded. If we do that, we could go for... I think we just go for MODOK. It's just safer. But one of our Swarms is going to get played. But that's fine, I guess. That should be all good here. So this is a non-reveal list, I'm assuming. So you see how Morbius is already like a 2-8? That's crazy. Iron Man. So I guess we play this and this. I mean, that was probably a bot, I would assume. But we are gonna still manage to win, and we still can showcase. Well, we're still gonna manage to win with a bad draw, so it's still a good showcase of what you can do, even if you don't have your whole combo here. All right. Next up, we have Prifts. We're going to give a little hello test here. So we do get Swarm, Wolverine, Morbius. I think, is that the exact same hand? Okay, TVA is kind of bad. If we can get our Storm, that would be good. So he does snipe my Morbius. We do get the Storm, so we are going to play our Storm middle. I don't think we want to go into... Interesting. I don't think we want to go into these turn 4 TVA games. Okay, so Morbius is actually going to get huge with the MODOK, but cards are going to move probably. So I am going to play Colleen Wing, and I am going to play the Wolverine as well. So the idea is to play as much card as possible so that our Morbius doesn't get pulled on the right in the Great Web. So Juggernaut pushes middle. Unfortunately, it pushes right. We do get a discard on the Morbius. Wolverine. Okay. Okay. I think here, actually, do we want to play everything now? Because this is secured. If we play here, his Storm is going to get pulled. He's going to play a card, and the game is going to end. That's a crazy play. Yeah. Let's do it. So he didn't play anything interesting. But his Storm is getting pulled, and he has a single card. So even if it's Doom, we still win. That was a sick game, right? That was crazy. With the Great Web. All right. Okay, we have nowhere here, so this is good for our Morbus, if you can get it. And then there goes a Tillin. So I'm going to play Collector left. We have Lady Sith, which is going to buff the Collector a little bit. So he plays this. Wow, that's a cool Swarm. So I'm going to play the Lady Sith on the right. It's going to discard the Apocalypse. And we are going to redraw our hand here. Oh, Nakia. No, Nakia is bad, right? Because every single card goes back in the deck. Can we get Blade? All right. Can we get... Okay, well, this is still pretty good. We're going to play our Wolverine. Or are we going to play our... Okay, yeah, let's play our Wolverine. And let's play our Wolverine middle, Blade right. So you see Blade is now going to discard our Apocalypse. So he's playing like a strong guy list. Okay, and now here we're going to keep pushing for power on the right. Or are we going to Apocalypse here? Maybe we are going to Apocalypse in Shuri's Lab. Yeah, so I'm going to Calling Wing middle. And the Silver Samurai discards our Swarm. So now we do have the Apocalypse, and we have Swarm, Swarm, and Swarm, right? Is that enough? Or should we put everything? He's going to discard his whole hand here, probably. And our opponent retreats here. That's an interesting Samurai list from our opponent. With Strong Guy. We're playing against Odin. Let's go. All right. So we do get Blade here, but we see we can't play Blade just yet. But if we can get Calling Wing, we can play Calling Wing. Swarm is going to go right, and then we can play our Blade. We could also do Lady Sith and Blade, right? So Lady Sith is going to discard Apocalypse, bring it to the right. Blade is going to discard it once more. So a lot of potential from Blade here. Such a great card. Haley Carrier. Okay. This is bad, I think, if Lady Sif discards the Haley Carrier, unless we get our collector. Okay, we do get Colleen Wing here. So Colleen Wing. So this is the power of Blade. We Colleen Wing into Blade. So we know the Swarm is going to be the thing that's going to get discarded from our Blade. All right, let's buff that Swarm. I need a new Swarm variant. Tell me down below. Tell me down below which Swarm variant I should get, and I'll get it. I'll get the one with the most like or the most comment. So I guess we have to play our Lady Sith, or are we better off just playing our Wolverine? Or we could, well, let's just play the Lady Sith. Let's go for a little bit of gamble here, and then we're gonna get 3 cards, right? So we're at 5. So if we play, we're gonna play 3. Well, yeah, we're gonna play every single Swarms actually. Because we still want to draw. Okay, so the Haley Carrier does get discarded, but we get 3 new cards. Wait. This can be juicy, you know? This can be very juicy, actually. I think we just skip here. So our opponent is playing Loki with Helicarrier, right? Yeah, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. So he does discard Apocalypse. So he did get Apocalypse from our hand with Lady Sith, which is pretty good. So his Apocalypse is at 12. I could go for that. So Yellow Jacket puts 2 power here, and then here we have 30. So if he plays, even if he plays his Apocalypse middle, he would be at 25, we'd be at 30, so we win here. I think we should be good here, but let's not forget that there's Loki. So wait, Apocalypse costs 4 now. Is that Apocalypse? All right. Let's go for maybe 2 more games. Red Cell. Okay, so I'm guessing he's playing Mr. Negative List. So we do have Blade. Maybe Lady Sith and Blade on 4. Rickety Bridge is interesting. I mean, yes. I think we are going to play the Collector. We could have Blade to get some Swarms ready. So we do have MODOK. So I think we are going to Lady Sith in Isle of Silence. We do get Apocalypse discarded. Boom, boom, boom. Our opponent still didn't play anything. It's turn 4. And now we have Colleen Wing into Blade. Into Snap. Or do we want to Blade? We could also Blade into Colleen Wing. which would give us a 16 power Apocalypse, and we are still going to have... Yeah, I think this is better because we don't have that much room to play our cards. So Rickety Bridge, we only want a single Swarm there, right? So I think it's better off to get a big vertical power with a big Apocalypse. And Modak is still going to give us 4 Swarms. But here we just... What if we just don't play in Rickety Bridge? He has to address it somehow. Okay, he can't really do the null Arnim Zola combo with the current board. I think we just play Apocalypse here. Well, our opponent just played 2 cards here. And everything went right for us. But that's what happens with this deck. There's always things to do. Like, Blade just adds so much different variations to the different plays we can do here. Can we get Swarm? Oh, yes! Unfortunately, Dream Dimension is bad for us, but we have Storm. So, yeah, not too shabby here. Storm gets discarded. There goes Sentinel. Storm! We storm the Dream Dimension. Crystal. So, do we want a Dracula or do we want... I think we want a Morbius, actually. Right? We don't have Apocalypse, so yeah, we Morbius. And then next turn, we Morak. What does Morak stand for? Machine of Destruction, something like that. What does Morak stand for? Okay. Mechanized organism designed only for killing. Jesus. Okay. Central London is bad. He's playing a Cerebro 3, I think. But our Morbius is going to be so huge. I think we snap here. Yes. Yes, he might have something big. But unless he plays Valkyrie... No, even if he plays Valkyrie. So we win the left lane. Even if he plays Valkyrie. Okay. Bim. Bim. I mean, I'm just gonna take a screenshot of this real quick. Isn't that beautiful? I'm not even sure we're gonna win actually, but it's still it's still pretty funny to see. Right, because he's going to play Mystique, which is going to add 4 to each card, so 12. He's going to be at 26, but we're going to add plus 3. That's fair. That's a good Shang-Chi. That's a very good Shang-Chi. All right, let's do one more. So what do we learn from that one? Serial 3 has Wasp and Shang-Chi. The Shang-Chi I expected, but I didn't expect him to fill the location. All right, this is going to be the last one, guys. So everyone's been playing Cerebro, by the way, because of the Loki season. If our opponent plays Loki against the Cerebro, well, then he's going to copy some... Oh, this is bad. Oh, but he discards his Loki. It might be salvageable. Do we Storm? Storm middle into Lady Sith Blade? And he's going to destroy his card for... Not no reason, but if he would have waited one turn. If we can secure the middle, we are good to go. Boom, boom. Okay, this is going to be a huge apocalypse. There you go, and then we play the Blade. Man, Blade is so good right now. Okay. Does a Loki list have a way to play wide? I don't think so, but Nick Fury can generate Doctor Doom or something like so. So we are not going to snap because of that. Oh, his Agent 13 should go back in Valley of the Hand, right? I think. Wow, okay, so there goes the Legion. This should be a retreat, right? I think so. We're going to try it just in case, but like he just has to threaten middle and we lose. And he knows we're playing Apocalypse, right? So, yeah. All right. So here we get Blade into Swarm on turn 1. I love it. Unfortunately, Sakar is probably going to pull our Collector. Sorry, a Swarm. Another Collector. Well, 1 in 2 chances, right? Collector and Dracula is pretty good. Collector's fine. Unless he pulls like... Yeah, Cyclops is. Cyclops on turn 1 is pretty rough. We have Nidavellir, which is pretty good. We have Colleen Wing, which is also pretty good. So we're going to play the Colleen Wing. Hopefully we can get MODOK. So we're already at 3 Swarms just because of the Blade on turn 1. So we are going to play right. We're going to try to bait him into thinking we're not playing middle. So we're going to play Dracula left. This is pretty good because even if the Cyclops hit the Dracula, it's still going to discard a card on the last turn. And he can't really Professor X into Dracula. MODOK. Wow. Okay. So we just play around Professor X, right? So if he plays Professor X. If he plays Professor X middle, we win. Right, we win. Left, we win because Dracula is going to hit Chavez if we want to, right? And plus the Collector is going to get +6. Do we snap here? He's playing high evo, right? So high evo control. Okay, yeah, we are going to snap here. We played it around Professor X, so Professor X is not an issue. Hobgoblin shouldn't be an issue too, because Hobgoblin middle does a buffs us, and then we have Hobgoblin left doesn't help much for him. Oh wow, okay, so he snaps back here. What do you have in mind, my friend? If you snap, you must know what you're gonna do. Okay. What am I looking at? What am I looking at? A wave. So if he plays Hulk, we win. If he plays Doctor Doom, though, we lose to Doctor Doom, but we win to Hulk. Wait, if he plays Doctor Doom, we tie on the right. We lose middle by, he's going to add, so he's by 2. He's going to have +2. And on the left, we are going to be at 14. 14 +3, right? Because so Chavez plus Collector, that's 14 +3 because of the Dracula, +5 because of the, no, so sorry, 14 +3, 17 -2, 15. So 15. He's also going to be at 15. No, but Collector gets +1. So we'd be at 16. We lose by 1. Right? So 9 +6, 15. 15, we're at 18. We're at 16. Oh, but we just went to Hulk. We are good here. Oh, Collector got +2. So we are very good here. And yeah, this is going to be it from you guys. I think this was a great showcase of the deck. I'm going to keep pushing to infinite with this deck. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And thanks for participating to my giveaway. I already gave out to the 2 winners, but I'm gonna make more giveaways in the future. So stay tuned and stay subscribed. So every month I'm gonna do this giveaway. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye guys. Take care. See you in the next one.